Previously on The Mole, a treacherous hike up the Andes
Oh my God.
proved to be too much for Craig.
Guys, hold up.
It seemed like Craig was pretty messed up.
I want to know if Craig's okay.
But ultimately, it was Mark who couldn't handle the heat.
Give us one thing to write in.
When their journals went up in flames.
It's friggin' sadistic.
However, all the players felt the burn when one of their prime suspects was executed.
Oh, I knew it.
Thank God I had an exemption.
12 strangers, 10 weeks, one winner, taking home up to $500,000. But one of them is being paid to deceive the others and sabotage their missions. That person is the Mole, the player that figures out who the Mole is and does the best job of tracking and remembering their every move wins the money. Can you figure it out? Who is the Mole?
Yesterday, I had a lot of problems with the altitude, and I almost died in an ambulance.
So why is it that everybody I pick to be the mole gets executed and I don't?
Thank you, God, for allowing me to make it this far. Thank you for protecting me, keeping me healthy, strong, motivated, and committed.
This is just a brutal game, and it's only gonna get better and better. I promise you that, because slowly but surely, I'm working on ticking these people off.
When we drive up in the vans, I was very aware of how cold it was outside, and I was very aware of how sick I was, so I was dreading every moment.
Hello, players.
Hey,
John. Right now, I'd like to welcome you to Uspallata train station. A century ago, when trains still ran through here, this was a holding area for prisoners being transported. They were chained together in this building behind me. Well, this mission, once again, is all about a key element to this game, trust. Right now, I'd like you to please follow me inside, or I'll set you up for your mission.
We go in and we are all chained up by our ankles to these steel bars behind us. I'm thinking to myself, I have no idea what we're going to be doing.
Okay, players, this mission is called All for One. The object of this mission is to free yourselves from the chains that bind you. Right now, you're all chained together in such a way that only one of you at a time can reach this cell behind me. Now, inside the cell is the key to set you free. But you must work all for one. Each one of you must stand with your back against the bars behind you for one person to have enough slack in the chain to reach the key. Every 10 minutes, this little window will open up. And when it does, you'll have exactly 1 minute to grab the key that's inside. If a player gets the key, they may free only themselves. And if they do that, they'll join me by a nice, warm, crackling fire, have a chance to enjoy a delicious meal, and sleep in a nice, warm bed. If everybody escapes before sunrise, I'll add $25,000 to the pot. Here's the catch. Trust is crucial in this mission, because next to the key, I'm placing an exemption card for the next execution. You'll have to trust that whoever you let reach the window will not take the exemption, because if they do, in addition to getting an exemption, no money will go into the pot. And any players who are not unchained will have to spend the night in the freezing cold. The window will open for the first time in 10 minutes. Your mission begins now.
At this point, I think everyone will do whatever it takes to get an exemption. It's basically, if there's one there, you better take it if you're gonna want to win this game.
Any ideas?
Yeah,
Craig?
I need to get out of the cold. I promised to leave the exemption in there, and I'm not gonna leave you guys out in the cold like that, and I want $25,000 to go into my pot. I had on 4 layers on top. I had pajama bottoms and pants on the bottom. I had 3 socks on and gloves and a hat, and I'm still freezing.
I just don't trust anybody but myself, honestly.
Then we're gonna be standing here for a long time.
We're gonna be standing here a long time.
I don't know. I tell you, after watching my journal burn up, I don't trust anybody.
The minute Mark's journal was burnt, there was a change in Mark. A little piece of him was burnt with that journal.
I want to get out of this cold as soon as possible.
I want to get out of this cold as soon as possible.
And that's more important to me than that exemption.
The twist to this is the person who takes the exemption card leaves all of us out to sleep there all night. The mole wants the exemption, and to prevent, money from going in the pot.
You can trust me, Mark.
Tick tock, tick tock.
I'm not gonna do it.
I mean, we've taken care of him with his health. If he's lying right now.
What's your feelings, Mark?
Right. Let's go.
The man's sick.
Clay, I'm gonna need you to back up.
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
Craig was allowed to go up there because he's been having health issues.
Do your thing, man. Go ahead.
I don't even know if he's telling the truth about his health.
Thank you, Craig. Craig, you're the man.
Get some rest, man. Good night.
Feel better.
Be well.
Get to sleep.
I don't want the exemption.
I don't need no exemption to win this
I'd
game.
like to sleep inside tonight.
Even if we say, I believe you, right? If I look you in the face and believe you, at some point that's gonna break down.
Didn't I make a deal with you yesterday?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
At the end of the Midas Rush mission, when I had given Clay the exemption that I deserved, Clay shook my hand and said, in a subsequent mission, I will return this favor.
You have my word.
All right.
You would have my vote. I would say go ahead, on the strength of that. But I can tell, just looking, that there's gonna be a breakdown.
No breakdown on this end. I'm ready to
You know
go
what I
home.
mean? You have my...
I'm ready to go home too, man. I don't care, man.
It's real simple. Either we all just do it or we don't. So, we all want to sleep out here like a bunch of kids.
Alex, can I tell you just one thing?
Go ahead.
Insulting me ain't gonna change my mind.
I'm not insulting you, but
Sure
you know
you
what?
are.
You know what? I'm not moving from this friggin' spot. You can all friggin' go
I
home.
think that's where we're at.
Nobody trusts anybody. At a very base level, no one trusts anyone but themselves.
It's unbelievable, man.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna beg. I'm gonna beg because I don't want to get pneumonia tonight.
I don't know, Kristen. I'm sorry.
If it were totally up to me, I wouldn't have released a single human soul.
I'll let you guys all take it and the last person take the exemption. That's how much I want to go inside right now. I don't care.
Brilliant. Well, 10 minutes are about up.
Could this sleeping bag be any more complicated?
Exactly. Everybody's sitting down on the job. I'll let you all go. Just make a decision. That thing comes up, it goes down, then we're here another 10 minutes.
You guys want to vote Kristen?
I don't care.
Please, Mark.
It's on here.
I say 1 for Kristen. Let's go.
I said 2 for Kristen.
Let Kristen go.
That's
You
3.
already have mine. You already
That's
have
4.
mine.
Go, Kristen. Let's go. Go. Go, go. Come on, get the chain up. Let's go, people. Feed it, feed it, feed it. Go, Chris, go. Go. She got it.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
You are very welcome.
I want to sleep inside tonight. I want $25,000. I don't need the exemption. I'm swearing on my daughter. I figured I had to pull the ultimate trump card with these people. I swear on my daughter, Clay. I swear on my daughter, Mark.
Paul, I'm not disrespecting you, but you've been telling me all along it's all about the hustle.
This ain't a hustle.
Every day you've
This
been
is not
saying
a
it's
hustle. This
but
is
I
not a
don't- I
hustle.
don't know that, Paul.
I can honestly say that this is the first time you can trust me in this game and the last time you can trust me in this game. As I've been saying all along, don't trust me. Don't trust anybody. You can't trust yourselves in this game. On my daughter, I swear to you.
So what are you saying?
I don't believe the man would swear on his daughter's life flippantly.
You vote Paul to go up there and get it. So we already know Alex got to vote.
I vote for all y'all.
All right, then that's what it is. Go ahead.
Okay.
There you go, Paulie.
You know, sitting there looking at that exemption, you're saying to yourself, man, I really want this exemption.
Woo!
At this point in the game, an exemption is huge.
I was most afraid that Paul would take the exemption.
I don't believe anything that ever comes out of Paul's mouth, ever, ever, ever.
The players are all chained together, and they've taken a step back so that Paul has enough slack in the chain to reach the key which can set him free. Next to the key is an exemption. Should any player take the exemption, $25,000 will not be added to the pot, and the remaining players will have to spend the night in the freezing cold.
Woo! Scared you, right, Clay?
None.
Later, guys.
So, I mean, what would be smart is we should be deciding about the next one.
Okay.
You already said your word, so I'll take you on your word.
I got
I'll
you
let
on
you
your
go.
word, Clay.
So you want me to go next? Alex, are you gonna take that exemption?
You got my word.
Okay, Nicole,
not
are you
taking
gonna
the
take that
exemption.
exemption? No. Okay, Mark, are you gonna take that exemption?
I can't give you my word that I'm not right now.
And that's why it's difficult for me to even walk up there.
I don't know if I want to go because I feel like if I go, then the voice of reason leaves. And then I leave a whole bunch of crazy, non-trustworthy, stubborn, obstinate people there to bicker amongst themselves.
Trust is a big issue, and there is no trust in this game.
Are you willing to stay out here all night?
I'll stay out here all night
And
if
he'll
I
stay out
have
all
to,
night,
but I
and
don't
I'll stay
want
out
to.
all night.
And nobody gets anything.
I know.
While the remaining players struggle to make a decision, the others join me for dinner by a warm fire.
I could see Mark staying there all night. He's lost all trust.
I think attitudes change as this goes on. See, that's the whole thing.
It really does.
Hear another voice, there he is.
Yeah!
Come on in.
It's freaking cold out there, John.
Grab a seat, New York, yes. Good to see you, man. We were wondering,
Yeah.
we're like, is anybody else gonna get here?
I knew from the very beginning that this was going to be a tough task to
say the
complete.
least.
And the scary thing is, I mean, once that gate opened, there was a second thought in my mind.
So you did think about it?
Of course. I mean, but I knew I couldn't go against my family.
So you guys will vote unanimously that he goes next?
Okay.
And you going next, Mark, after?
I didn't say I would go next.
Right,
That's what I mean.
that's
So
where
he's
we're
already
at. That's
thinking
the crossroads we're at.
Sounds like the man wants the exemption.
Yeah, it does.
I was hesitant to even leave because I think Mark wants an exemption very badly. And I think Mark, in my opinion, will do anything to get an exemption.
He has two concerns. He doesn't trust if he leaves that you guys won't take the exemption.
I don't trust
Whether
myself.
he'll take the exemption
I don't trust
himself.
myself.
When Mark said he cannot trust himself, that was the specific moment for me when our coalition began to unravel.
All right, I'm gonna go. Do you vote me off? I'm just gonna trust that you'll make the best decision.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, let me out.
All right.
I felt that was a transition point from him. He could either become the evil, malicious, doomsday Mark, or he could still have some compassion and be the old Mark.
All right, good people.
Guys want to do? I don't know that either of you can convince me that you won't go up there and grab the exemption.
I'm not grabbing the exemption.
I'm not grabbing the
I
exemption.
don't know.
You got my word on it.
Please, Mark.
Mark had a look on his face that I'd never seen before.
I think I had the upper hand psychologically because everybody knew I was irritated about my journal, and I don't think anybody wanted to play with me that night.
It's just a game.
Nicole, she gave me a look that I haven't seen from her at all in this game that finally let me know she was being honest.
I just want to get out of the weather.
No, Alex is standing there fine. I'm standing here. And so I let her go.
There, it's up, it's up, it's up, it's up. You got 1 minute.
I think Mark is taking the exemption. I think hands down he will take that. I would be very surprised if he did not. Yes, because he has changed.
Wow.
You know, it's the sleeping dragon has awakened.
Ah, and another one.
Y'all
Please.
didn't believe me.
Nicole, come on in.
Until somebody else walks in behind you, I still don't.
Now, we don't know if you took the exemption or not.
Yeah, exactly.
So, did you take the exemption?
No, I did not.
The surprises just keep coming in here.
What you want to do? It's your decision. If you trust me to stay, or if you want to be the last, I'll go.
Run up there.
I'm afraid that he was going to take the exemption. That's an evil exemption. I want that extra 25 grand into the pot.
I knew full well that this one move could be the complete turning point of the game for me. I'm running through every possible scenario of what could happen if I take exemption or if I take the key.
Take tonight's quiz on abc.com.
Now he has justification. He has his journal being burned.
Yeah,
so
but
now
that's not a reason to sue everybody else.
I think it's going to really bother him if he takes the exemption.
I'm hoping that Mark walks in here with $25,000.
I just don't think the money's enough to stop him. I think knowing him, he's going to say, I can make up 25. Right now, I need to be safe.
Speaking of, there is the man. Come on in, grab a seat.
I can't eat till I know what happened, I swear to you.
I think these guys are kind of curious. What decision did you make?
You guys have been sitting here talking. I want to know what you guys said.
As much as you've been battling what's going on here and as much as what happened with your journal and everything else, I said Mark being the man that he is, I think that you would have a hard time taking the exemption. That was just my opinion. I think
it was a hard time.
Bastard.
My biggest thing was when you would not give me your word, I knew that you had taken it at that point.
I will tell you I have something green in my pocket. You want to see what I got in my pocket?
Hope it's $25,000.
He reaches into his pockets and he pulls out a thing of mints and throws the green mints on the table.
Wow, that's a tough choice.
The exemption stays in the cage, and you add $25,000 to the pot.
Wow.
Bringing the total pot to $177,000.
Wow. I'm still surprised that he didn't take the exemption. I'm thinking, maybe he's the mole. Maybe he doesn't need the exemption.
Wow. It was hard. Walking away from that exemption was hard. But I decided that just getting ahead wasn't enough, because then my social game would be destroyed. Especially now that we don't have our journals. You know, we're all willing to help each other now. But if I'd taken that exemption, people go, screw you, exemption boy.
Had something for you all. Consider it an early Christmas. Fresh new journal.
I'm happy because, you know, everyone gets their journal back, and I actually have not brought out my journal since the journal burning just because of the survivor's guilt.
If you're superstitious, you can pick the one you had before.
I'd like to have my same number. Like that. The journal, to me, it's like if you lose your wedding ring and get it replaced. You can't replace it. So I really didn't care about the new journal.
I hope you guys have all enjoyed your time here in the Andes, because tomorrow, packing it up, we're moving out, heading to Mendoza, which is known as the Napa Valley of Argentina.
Goodbye, Uspalata. Goodbye, Uspalata. On to Mendoza.
The drive from Uspallata to Mendoza, you know, those are the precious moments where we can relax and just watch, you know, the scenic views.
Oh, look, the river turned into a lake.
Come on, Alex.
Initially on our way to Mendoza, there was an exchange of information for our new journals because, again, our old journals were burned.
Craig, what's your date of birth?
November 20th, 1977.
Paul, what's your date of birth?
I already told you I don't have to divulge that information more than once.
Most people just answer a question, but
I'll tell you,
have
10,
a smart.
17, 78.
That's nice, but I think
We already discussed it. Everybody already has that information.
that's pre-journal being burned.
That's
kind of like the obvious.
You just think it's the obvious because you think you're smarter than you actually are.
You're entitled to think your own opinion.
Whatever.
In your own
All
mind.
right, just argue to yourself, please.
If I argue to myself, you wouldn't be responding. Does that mean you're going to shut up? Yes, he does shut up.
Because you're the biggest hypocrite in this car. A person who's such a godly man getting out criminals.
You are losing your mind.
He's a criminal defense lawyer. Man who says he's such a godly person shouldn't be defending criminals. The Bible says do not debate, and you're a lawyer who does nothing but debate. You're a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite. Your whole life is just a hypocrite. Like it's just
My
a
whole
bundle.
life is a hypocrite.
Not well, hey.
That's not even a correct sentence.
You're right. It's not a correct sentence.
I made a determination that I was going to use his own game and use it on him.
You're uneducated, you're incompetent, and you're a moron. You just exposed that to the world.
Wow. We were enjoying the view. I mean, driving is definitely my one way to maintain sanity in this game.
You know what it is? It's that Napoleon complex we talked about.
That's exactly what it
because
is.
you're a little boy.
And you're an ugly.
Why does there have to be name calls?
Because that's the way I talk. You don't like it? Too bad.
Who are you talking to?
You.
You calling me a
I'll call you whatever I want. How about
You
that?
want to get outside the van?
I'll step out of the van. You need me to step out of the van? You need me to step out of the van so you can do something? Mr. Godly Man? You like to use your fists? Is that what it is?
You don't understand. Being a godly man doesn't mean you sit by and let people insult you.
Shut up.
I think this game is definitely bringing out the worst in people, but I'm trying to not let it bring out the worst in me, which is why I left the van. Paul and Clay are at each other's throats.
You still driving?
You're right.
Hold on, I got some money for you. Let's help you get where we going.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Come on, give me more. Give me more.
Drive.
What is this?
Give me more.
Now drive, my
Take
chauffeur.
your money and you can leave it in your face.
Oh, you just threw something at him. Now drive, my chauffeur.
I knew I would be able to shake him up.
The door's open, brother.
But to shake him up that much, I was very surprised. So maybe he just didn't anticipate an adversary as fierce as I am.
Get out of the car. So I'm gonna leave your ass in the middle of the desert, punk ass bitch.
Oh, Clay's getting up.
Oh, dude.
Enough of your punk stuff.
Oh, I saw him hit the seat.
I want him out. Uh-oh. You threw something at me. What is that? What is that? Did this hit me in the back of the head, you stupid ass?
I threw a lemon at Paul, and, I wanted him to feel the impact of it. And also, I wanted the shock value of it.
You're a punk, and if we were on the streets, I would have dealt with you right now.
At that point, all I want to do is tear his throat out.
This really needs to stop.
Told you you'd be leaving. Bye, Clay.
The argument ended because I just moved to a different van.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, it's good to have you.
Clay came over and asked me to actually get in Paul's van.
I was assaulted with a piece of fruit.
And by the time Clay had gotten back into my van, he was the same old Clay again.
Trekking through the Andes.
Trekking through the Andes.
Looking for a mission.
Trying to find the mission.
And we're glad we're not talking to Paul right now. Cause we're Paul free. In van number 2, I'm singing Paul free. In van number 2, I'm singing Paul free. In van number 2, Paul free.
He's a hypocrite.
The players have moved on to Mendoza. But not all the players have moved on from yesterday's drama.
Wow.
The next morning, we're at breakfast, and I'm just pissed. I'm gonna try to avoid Clay because, I don't want to snap at any point.
One of the things as a Christian is you have to have a forgiving heart. And I certainly hold no animosity or anything against him.
Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Mendoza, the land of sun and great wine. A little more manageable over here. Maybe climate change, altitude change. Craig, are you noticing a difference yet? I guess not.
I'm starting to feel like My health problems might be maybe exemption worthy.
You let him keep his journal. That's an exemption enough.
Yeah. So what are we supposed to do, David?
I guess something that'll let out some steam.
Do we get to shoot something?
Well, I guess that's never completely out of the question.
Something, not someone.
All right, guys, finish up, and I'll see you at the next mission.
All right.
Then, John.
Well, I don't have to tell you guys, this game has been nothing short of a journey. In keeping with that theme, today's mission is called Travelers. Here's how it's going to go. You'll be split up into teams of 2, and using various forms of transportation, you'll travel from here 5.5 miles to this. The Cerro de la Gloria statue is the statue celebrating Argentina's independence from the Spanish Empire. You have 45 minutes to make it to that statue. For every team that does, I'll add $10,000 to the pot, making this mission worth $30,000.
Nice.
Figure you guys might like that. Finally a chance to get over the 200 grand mark. And since there's 7 players, that leaves out 1. And that brings us to the little twist. This morning at breakfast, unbeknownst to you, I designated 1 player to be the transportation captain. And honestly, the criteria was pretty simple. It was the first player to say the word exemption.
You could say mole behavior may have started at breakfast with Craig just automatically saying the word exemption.
Maybe exemption worthy?
Craig, you were the first player to mention exemption. So today, we have a very special role in this mission. You'll split the players up into teams of 2, and you'll be the man designating the forms of transportation that each of your fellow players will be using. I have a special offer for you. If none of the teams make it to the statue in time, you, my friend, will receive an exemption. But no money, not a single penny will be added to the pot. Yeah, with the sweet goes the sour. My good captain, you're coming with me?
All right.
Craig, remember, I'm your roommate. It'll be a long night.
One of the few times you're the man in charge.
Nice.
He wants the exemption.
I know he does. He's mentioned nothing but getting the exemption. This is Craig's time to basically screw the group and get his exemption.
Welcome, my man, to John's Rentals. Veritable smorgasbord, everything for travelers' needs. Yeah, I got a lot of choices for you. From scooters, to tiny bikes, to stilts, and more. And finally, this is a llama. So 2 people get in here. One will be the front side, one will be the back side.
I was going for the exemption, so I wanted to make it very difficult on everybody, and I actually wanted to make it very humorous.
Hey guys, welcome to my rentals. This man standing next to me, he is the master of your domain today, and it's good to be king, isn't it?
It's nice.
You're savoring every moment of it. Why don't you break it down and let them know who's gonna be using what to try to get to that statue?
Well, this mission is a lot more like Race to the Summit than All for One. In All for One, I don't think any of us were gonna take that exemption. In Race to the Summit, none of us felt bad that Mark or Kristen went for it. So this time, I'm gonna go for it. I'm not gonna make it easy for you guys, and I think it's gonna be fun. Well, for me to watch. So, Alex, you're gonna have to dress up as a conquistador and bring this donkey along with you. You can't ride it.
Wouldn't if you told me. I was the conquistador with my donkey. I had a sword and everything.
You're gonna be teamed up with Mark. You're gonna be wearing the scuba outfit with the flippers.
It was insulting.
Next up, Clay, you're gonna be using the unicycle. And with Clay, Kristen, you're gonna be using the stilts.
I can't get on.
I was like, you're gonna make me look like some circus freak.
And for the last one, this is a llama. And Nicole, you'll be at the head. Paul, you'll be bringing up the rear.
I actually thought it was a moment of sheer genius when he chose Nicole to be the head of the llama and Paul to be the rear end. It was almost Shakespearean.
I mean, how dare you? We saved your ass from the cold. Then he picked me to be in a llama costume? Please, we are not cool. Not anymore.
I don't think any of you would have made a different choice.
Yeah, okay.
I would have given somebody a bike.
You got 2 mopeds back there you could have used, yeah.
You picked an impossible task. I don't know what to tell you. running full pace, you can barely go 5.5 miles in 45 minutes.
I started to think that this could be possibly a strategic way of Mark getting people not to do it. You know, he was so convincing. He started making me believe that I couldn't do an 8-minute mile.
I'm not gonna be a fool for something that's impossible.
And I'm not gonna be an ass in an ass.
Well, I'm not gonna make a fool of myself, and you get an exemption. Forget it.
I was surprised that Mark said, I'm not even gonna try. So that's suspicious.
All right, players. Craig and I are going ahead. You should get suited up. We'll see you on the course.
It's absurd. I'm not going.
I'm not going on stilts. I'm not a circus freak.
Are we in agreement or no?
So we're opting out.
I am.
I'll opt out right now.
There's a mutiny. We're not doing this. Mark and Kristen kind of initiated together.
I'm opting out.
It's ridiculous.
What are you thinking?
Is the mole at work? When you looked at the stilts, specifically regarding Kristen, they really weren't, 6 or 7 foot stilts. They were really low to the ground. Could she have done it? I don't think it's impossible.
It's not in my nature to give up without trying. I mean, I put on the suit, but once Marcus, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing this, I knew I couldn't change his mind. As a group, we didn't really think ahead. Maybe there's another aspect to this mission. Maybe there's something a mile down the road, and maybe another form of transportation. We didn't even think, well, maybe there's a loophole.
This is the halfway point. It's been a long time.
I figured there was gonna be some sort of twist. John would make a deal, take like $5,000 out of the pot, and then you get to the top of the mountain, Craig doesn't get the exemption.
I don't know. Did you see anything?
I just wanted to get out of there and move on.
The bummer is we don't see any of your fellow players, but actually that's a silver lining for you, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and get out of here.
There's no point in doing it.
I'm not about to make a fool of myself.
I'm not killing myself.
Are we in agreement or no?
Yeah, we're in agreement. Absolutely.
Let's go. Alex, you coming?
Once we decided that we weren't going to do the mission, we all jumped in the vans and just decided that we were going to find the monument.
Craig could have did it a different way, but it just shows you
He
his
could have
malicious
done it a
side.
different way.
The way he maliciously did what he did, the way he said it.
Hello! We made it!
Hey, I don't see any llama outfits or a donkey. What happened?
I'm not sweating like that.
But you guys didn't even try.
Nope.
We're being disobedient children.
Well, here's my question. What was this mole revolution led by? Was it one person, a couple people? How'd this all break down?
Collective. It was collective. Very easy.
Yep, very easy decision.
I was sensing a little mole factor here, but you're saying no one came up with this first? You all decided at the same time?
We're happy with
Proud
the
of the
decision we made.
Yeah.
There was a time in this game when I said that there's no way that Mark is the mole, but now I have to go back on that. In the dress code mission,
I'm up.
he opted out and kept $5,000 from going to the pot. In this last mission, he was the ringleader in getting people not even to try it. And what coach keeps his team from trying?
But you didn't even give it a shot.
We didn't care.
I can't think of a time when I actually have quit something without even trying.
So as it all breaks down, you guys roll up in vans. That means Craig earns the exemption.
Well, he didn't earn it.
No.
The bottom line is, Craig gets the exemption, and not a single penny goes into the pot.
But when you really break it down, yeah, there was mole activity. I could be in a coalition with the mole right now.
Beautiful weather, beautiful dinner. How's everyone feeling tonight?
I'm still guilt-ridden.
Good.
But actually, for the most part, not so much in taking the exemption, but in forgetting to acknowledge everyone's kindness in the day before and letting me go first and get out of the cold. So I apologize, but I am still happy I have the exemption. I went from being the guy everybody likes to the guy everybody hates. I played a little more cutthroat than I normally would with my personality.
Little more, really?
Way more.
No.
And I think I've let the game change my personality. So the good news is that everyone thinks I'm the mole. Bad news is that I've lost all moral support.
Would anybody have handled it differently? Would anybody have not gone for the exemption? Honestly.
I think everybody would have gone for the exemption.
It's just the way it was done.
Right.
And we all knew that, you take a couple steps and somebody probably step in and get something. It was just the principle of the matter. I mean, we do stuff for money, yes, but
To stoop so low for such a paltry